I belong to one of the hidden households of Misteria, concealed within the gorge of 1,000 winds. Undergoing the traditional journey of the Jokokyu, I successfully regained my memories and returned to the clan, earning my place as the head of the Mugenshi clan. Years later, I left the gorge once more, determined to find a cure for the curse affecting my people. Calm and level-headed, some might underestimate me, mistaking my practical nature for an aversion to violence. However, in the heat of battle, I can call upon the power of the wind, striking down my opponents with the speed of a hurricane.
Today we will be looking at Katsu the Wanderer. If you don't know the fundamentals and general game mechanics, I strongly suggest watching the Learn to Play guides by LSS. Link will be in the description. Make sure to visit the Heroes of Fab section for additional information. Katsu was first introduced in the first Flesh and Blood set, Welcome to Wraith, back in early 2019, and then we were reacquainted in March 2023 in the 9th set, Outsiders. Don't let Katsu's calm and level-headed attitude deceive you. At any point, he can call upon the power of the wind to blow the opposition away. Let's have a look at his hero ability. Once per turn effect. When an attack action you control hits, you may discard a card with cost 0. If you do, search your deck for a card with combo. Banish it face up. Then shuffle your deck. You may play it this turn. Inspired by classic arcade fighting games from the 80s and 90s, sequence your combos correctly to unleash devastating finishing moves. Combo is a keyword found on many ninja attack action cards. If Katsu has managed to sequence his attack correctly, the combo is enabled, and each attack will gain an effect and power buff. When the first attack action card hits, utilize Katsu's hero ability to fill the missing gaps in the combo chain. The combo mechanic only works when the cards are played in sequence one after the other on the same combat chain. Make sure you don't break up your combo sequence with attacks that aren't part of the combo, such as attacking with your weapon mid-combo or playing activated and non-attack action mid-combo, which would close the combat chain. There are a few weapon choices when playing Katsu, but today we will look at his signature weapon, the Harmonized Kodachi. This one-hand dagger weapon can only be wielded by ninjas such as Katsu. It mentions, once per turn action for one resource attack. If you have a card in your pitch zone with cost 0, Harmonized Kodachi has go again. Since this is a one-handed dagger weapon, you can equip 2 of these or a different one-handed dagger, but today we will solely focus on his Harmonized Kodachis. Let's have a look at some budget ninja equipment that can be used with this hero. Breaking Scales. Attack Reaction. Destroy Breaking Scales. Target attack action card with combo gains +1 attack power. This one is really fun as you can turn this into a punishing finishing blow, and trust me, this will happen more often than you think. Additionally, it can block once, and being battle worn, this will not be destroyed after blocking with it, meaning you can still use the action ability if not used yet. Mask of Many Faces is a great budget option. Instant. For one resource, destroy Mask of the Many Faces. Name a card. The next attack action card you play this turn gains that name. Missing a combo piece? This equipment will solve that problem. It also has an unconditional block value of 1, but do note, being a blade break equipment, when the combat chain closes, if this defended, Mask of the Many Faces will be destroyed. For a budget chest equipment, we have Blossom of Spring. As an action, you gain 1 resource and go again. Pretty simple but useful. Tide Flippers. This ninja equipment has built-in Arcane Barrier 1. This will be extremely useful against heroes that deal arcane damage, such as wizards, runeblades, and illusionists. Secondly, as an attack reaction, you can destroy the Tide Flippers. Target action card with 2 or less base attack power gains go again. As you journey with Katsu, you will have access to the Ninja Dual class cards, and generic card pool. Katsu is a hero that wants to pursue an aggressive go-wide game plan. Your deck will usually consist of a large amount of zero-cost cards with the largest proportion in blue pitch, a decent amount of efficient attacks with go again, and reactions to push through your on-hit triggers. Katsu's attacks are nimble and small, but don't let size deceive you. Having 0-cost cards allows him to turn on Harmonized Kodachi's Go Again effect, and utilizes hero ability finding the missing pieces to complete his combo chains. When your attack action cards hits, a 0-cost card in your hand becomes any combo card in your deck. Let's have a look at some cards that Katsu can play. Let's first look at our Go Wide enablers. Head Jab, Leg Tap, and Surging Strike are all simple Go Again attack action. Head Jab costing 0, Leg Tap costing 1 resource, and Surging Strike costing 2. These are great for its Go Wide capabilities and are required for certain combo chains. Double Strike. When Double Strike's chain link resolves, banish it. You may play it this combat chain. If you do, it loses this ability. Go Again. Looks unassuming, but don't be fooled. Being able to attack twice with the same card on the same combat chain is extremely useful, especially paired with some of Katsu's tools. Twin Twisters is a great utility card. It says, choose one. Twin Twisters gains, when this hits, your next attack this combat chain gains +1 attack power. Or, Twin Twisters gains +1 attack power. Go Again. We will look at this one more in the gameplay. Be Like Water. When this hits, you may pay 1 resource. If you do, choose Head Jab, Surging Strike, or Twin Twisters. This gains the chosen name. Go Again. If you require a certain card mentioned to enable one of your combos, for 1 resource, this one will enable that. Just be mindful, Be Like Water will need to hit for this effect to be online. Now let's have a look at the cards that uses the combo mechanic. Spinning Wheel Kick. Combo. If Twin Twisters or Spinning Wheel Kick was the last attack this combat chain, this has +1 attack power, and when this hits, put it on the bottom of its owner's deck. Go Again. This one combos with Twin Twisters and with another card with the same name, meaning you could play Twin Twisters, then Spinning Wheel Kick, and potentially play a second one if available. Bonus on hit, combo placing this card at the bottom of your deck. Nice! Another attack that combos with Twin Twisters is Backheel Kick. Combo. If Twin Twisters was the last attack this combat chain, this has, if Backheel Kick would gain power, instead it gains that much +1. 100 Wins. Combo. If 100 Wins was the last attack this combat chain, this attack gains +1 attack power for each other card named 100 Wins you control on the combat chain. Go Again. This one is especially powerful if you're able to combo multiple on the same combat chain. Another combo card that rewards you by playing 100 Wins is Winds of Eternity. Combo. If 100 Wins was the last attack this combat chain, Winds of Eternity gains +2 attack power. And when this hits, shuffle all cards named 100 Wins you own on the combat chain into your deck. Being able to shuffle back a bunch of 100 Wins back into your deck is pretty sweet. Whelming Gustwave. Combo. If Surging Strike was the last attack this combat chain, Whelming Gustwave gains +1 attack power. Go Again, and if this hits, draw a card. Playing a Surging Strike before this bad boy packs a punch. Giving it +1 attack power and Go Again is already amazing enough, but if this managed to hit, it will draw you a card. Insane value. Descendant Gustwave is another one that combos off Surging Strike. Combo. If Surging Strike was the last attack this combat chain, this costs 1 resource less to play and has +2 attack power. Go Again. Playing this at no cost for 5 damage Go Again in red by simply playing a Surging Strike before is incredible, but trust me, it even gets better. Bonds of Ancestry. Combo. If a card with Gustwave in its name was the last attack this combat chain, this costs 2 resources less to play. It has Go Again, and when this attacks, you may banish a card with combo from your graveyard. If you do, search your deck for a card with the same name, banish it, then shuffle. You may play it this combat chain. Okay, there's quite a bit to unpack here. Bonds of Ancestry on his own is not very good to play, but is insane when paired with either Whelming Gustwave or Descendant Gustwave. What makes this incredibly potent, it only requires you to have played one of these 2 cards before. It doesn't even need to hit. By fulfilling this, Bonds of Ancestry will be free and gains Go Again. But the added bit of text at the end is what makes this card very special. You can choose a card in your graveyard, banish it, search your deck for a card with the same name. Banish it, and you can play this combat chain. It's pretty spicy. Controlling what cards you blocked earlier in the game will make this card shine even more. But when you think this can't get any better, we have Dishonor. Combo. If Bonds of Ancestry was the last attack this combat chain, this has +2 attack power. When this hits a hero, if you control Surging Strike, Descending Gustwave, and Bonds of Ancestry, that hero loses all ability for the rest of the game. Yep, you heard me. Obviously, there's a bit to do to achieve this, but remember, Katsu does have other tools at his disposal to make this very achievable. There are quite a few other combos available for Katsu, so make sure to experiment. To help our combos reach its target, Katsu has access to great attack reactions. Let's have a look at a few. Razor Reflex. Choose one. Target sword or dagger weapon attack gains +3 attack power in red, 2 in yellow, and 1 in blue. Or target attack action card with cost 1 resource or less gains +3 attack power in red and 1 less for each other color pitch. And if this hits, this attack gains go again. This is great since you can add this to one of your Kodachis or to one of your attack actions. Ancestral Empowerment is simple but powerful. Target ninja attack action card gains +1 attack power, but it also draws you a card. This will happen regardless of its attack hitting its target. Next one is not an attack reaction, but was worth mentioning is the defense reaction Flick Flack. Firstly, these block for 4 in red, 3 in yellow, and 2 in blue, at no cost. What makes this defense reaction special is the extra bit of text on it. If the next card you defend with this turn is a card with combo, it gains +2 defense. This can turn one of your combo attack action cards into a 5 block. Pretty sweet. All heroes have specific specialization cards that can only be played in their respective hero deck. For Katsu, we have Visit the Floating Dojo, Mugenshi Release, and Lord of Wind. First, we have Visit the Floating Dojo. Put a Surging Strike and a card with combo from your graveyard on top and or bottom of your deck. Placing a couple of cards back into your deck is always great, but being able to manipulate where they're going is even better. Mugenshi Release. Combo. If Whelming Gustwave was the last attack this combat chain, Mugenshi Release gains +1 attack power. Go again. And if this hits, search your deck for any number of cards named Lord of Wind. Reveal them, put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. You're probably thinking that the Surging Strike Whelming Gustwave combo was already potent enough. Think again. Mugenshi Release takes it to a whole other level. Last piece of this insane combo is Lord of Wind. Combo. If Mugenshi Release was the last attack this combat chain, you may pay X resource points as an additional cost to play Lord of Wind. If you do, shuffle X target cards named Surging Strike, Whelming Gustwave, and or Mugenshi Release from your graveyard into your deck. Then Lord of Wind gains X attack power. Okay, let's recap this combo line. If we look at our previous combo, let's say Mugenshi Release hits. This lets you search any number of cards named Lord of Wind. Place them in your hand, then shuffle. Then you can play Lord of Wind and pitch additional resources to get back combo pieces of this line from your graveyard to your deck. What's great is that for each resource pitched, Lord of Wind gains it in attack power. How many Lord of Winds being fetched when Mugenshi Release hits is very dependent on how many are left in your deck and how many cards from this combo line is available in your graveyard. If you think Katsu is a good fit, you will have access to higher quality equipment. There are a few options here, so I will only cover a few. Mask of Momentum, this legendary headpiece has been a staple in any ninja deck. This can be found in the first set Welcome to Wraith. It did see a reprint in History Pack 1. Its once per turn effect will force your opponent to make block decisions to avoid you drawing a card. Stripping your opponent of cards on their own turn lets you keep the tempo. Breeze Rider Boots. When a ninja attack action card you control hits, you may destroy Breeze Rider Boots. If you do, attack action cards with combo gains go again this turn. Additionally, it has Battle Worn 1. Just a quick disclaimer, many heroes benefit from using other generic legendary equipment, and Katsu is no exception, but we'll not be including these today. Alright, let's have a look at a few possible hands, only utilizing cards introduced today. For this first example, let's keep it simple and set up for our next turn. Our cards are Dishonor, Surging Strike red, Head Jab blue, and Twin Twisters red. Let's start with one of our harmonized Kodachis, pitching the blue head jab. Our opponent declares no block. Since the pitch card is a 0 cost, our weapon has go again. Let's repeat this by attacking with our second harmonized Kodachi, using one of our floating resources. Our opponent declares again no blocks. Then let's play Twin Twisters, using the remaining resource. We must now choose one option, give Twin Twisters an on-hit effect or give it +1. This decision will sometimes depend on your opponent or your own plan. Let's say our opponent doesn't like to block. We will choose the first mode. Twin Twisters will gain when this hits, your next attack this combat chain gains +1 attack power. Our opponent declares no block. Great! Let's then use Katsu's once per turn effect, discarding a 0 cost card and search our deck for a card with combo. Let's discard Dishonor and search for the combo attack action card, Backheel Kick, since it doesn't require a resource and combos off Twin Twisters. We banish it and we may play it this turn. Now we can play Backheel Kick from the banish zone. Let's have a look at its combo effect. If Twin Twisters was the last attack this combat chain, this has if Backheel Kick would gain power, instead it gains that much +1. The combo here is active since Twin Twisters was the last attack, and since Twin Twisters is giving Backheel Kick +1 attack, it will then gain an additional 1 attack power from its combo effect, coming in for a total of 5 attack power. We then end our turn, placing our Surging Strike in Arsenal. Simple turn that provide us with some setup in our arsenal and graveyard. For the second example, let's have a look at the Dishonor combo line. We'll have Surging Strike still in arsenal. Our cards are Backheel Kick blue, Razor Reflex red, Bonds of Ancestry red, and 100 Winds red. Let's start by playing our Surging Strike from arsenal, pitching the blue Backheel Kick. We will have 1 resource floating. Let's say our opponent declares no blocks. This will let us search a missing combo piece. Excellent. We then use Katsu's once per turn effect, discarding the red 100 Winds, the only 0 cost card we have in hand. Let's search for a red Descendant Gustwave, placing it in the banish zone. We can now play it this turn. Let's play it now since it combos off Surging Strike. Since it was the last attack, Descendant Gustwave will cost 1 less and gains +2 attack power, coming in for 5 attack power and go again. Let's say our opponent decides to block with 2 cards from hand to avoid the damage. Then let's continue with our combo and play Bonds of Ancestry. Since the last card we played had Gustwave in its name, Bonds of Ancestry costs 2 resources less to play and gains go again. This also gains when this attacks. We may banish a card with combo from our graveyard. If we do, we search a card with the same name, banish it, shuffle, and you can play it this combat chain. Last turn you may have noticed we placed a Dishonor in our graveyard. Well, this was done deliberately for this specific scenario, as it combos with Bonds of Ancestry. Since we are now attacking with Bonds of Ancestry, let's banish the combo card Dishonor from our graveyard and search for a card with the same name. Our opponent sees what's coming and decides not to block to preserve cards for the incoming attack. Now let's play our pièce de résistance, Dishonor. If Bonds was the last attack this combat chain, this has +2 attack power. The kicker here is if this hits a hero and we control a Surging Strike, Descending Gustwave, and Bonds of Ancestry, that hero loses all ability for the rest of the game. Dishonor here is coming in for a total of 4, and a devastating on-hit effect. Our opponent decides to block with the remaining 2 cards from hand for a total of 6. The attack here is currently fully blocked, but we have an ace up our sleeve. As an attack reaction, let's play our Razor Reflex with our floating resource. By targeting Dishonor, it will gain +3 attack power and go again. We have no remaining cards to play, but Dishonor will gain +3 attack power, going up to 7. With their total block value being 6, they will need a defense reaction to cover the additional damage, but they are all out of cards. Our opponent here loses all ability for the rest of the game. This of course showed the best possible scenario, but keeping in mind that Katsu and other pieces can help with missing combo cards, making this combo line very achievable. For the last 2 examples, let's say this is a different game and we have the same cards in the graveyard, and Mask of Momentum as our headpiece. This one is interesting as it threatens a card draw. When an attack action card you control is the third or higher chain link in a row to hit. Having this in the arena can create awkward blocking situation for your opponent. Let's say we had to block with one card in hand and we have 3 cards left. Our cards are 100 Winds Blue, Ancestral Empowerment, and Visit the Floating Dojo. Let's start with one of our harmonized Kodachis, pitching the blue 100 Winds. Our opponent declares no blocks. Since the pitch card is a 0 cost, our weapon has Go Again. Let's repeat this by attacking with our second harmonized Kodachi, using one of our floating resources. Our opponent here must consider Mask of Momentum. Since their opponent doesn't know what's coming, they decide to block this with 1 card. We declare no reactions, so our Mask of Momentum card draw threat is reset. Let's break the chain now and play Visit the Floating Dojo. We can now search our graveyard for a Surging Strike and a card with combo and place them on top and or bottom of our deck. Let's set up for our next turn and pick up a red Surging Strike and a red Whelming Gustwave and place them on top of our deck. These are the starting pieces for the Lord of Wind combo line. We end our turn and place Ancestral Empowerment in Arsenal. For our last example, let's look at the Lord of Wind combo line and throw a few different elements in the mix. We will continue from our last turn with Ancestral Empowerment in Arsenal, and remember, we play Surging Strike and Whelming Gustwave on top of our deck. So that means those 2 will now be in our hand. Our cards are Surging Strike red, Whelming Gustwave red, Head Jab blue, and 100 Winds yellow. Before we start playing any cards, we need to make sure we can chain attacks without breaking the combat chain. This is important for the Mask of Momentum trigger and combos. Let's start with one of our harmonized Kodachis, pitching the blue Head Jab. Our opponent declares no block. Since the pitch card is a 0 cost, our weapon has Go Again. Next, let's play Surging Strike with our 2 floating resources. This is coming in for a total of 5. Opponent fully blocks this attack. Then let's play Whelming Gustwave. Since Surging Strike was the last attack played, Whelming Gustwave gains +1 attack power, Go Again, and on hit, we draw a card. Opponent fully blocks this attack, with 1 card in hand and 1 equipment blocking for 4. As an attack reaction, let's use our Breaking Scales. This gives an attack action with combo +1 attack power. Our opponent here doesn't have a defense reaction, so Whelming Gustwave will now hit, triggering the draw effect. Let's say we draw a yellow Descendant Gustwave. Now let's resolve Katsu's once per turn effect, discarding the yellow 100 Winds, and search for a other piece of our combo, Mugenshi Release, and place it in our Banished zone. Next, let's play Mugenshi Release from Banished, pitching the Descendant Gustwave. Since Whelming Gustwave was the last attack, Mugenshi Release gains +1 attack power, Go Again, and on hit, search for any number of cards named Lord of Wind, reveal them, put them in your hand, and shuffle. Our opponent blocks with their last card from hand and an equipment that blocks for 2, fully blocking the attack. As an attack reaction, we can play Ancestral Empowerment from Arsenal. This will give Mugenshi Release +1 attack power. Our opponent has no defense reaction, meaning Mugenshi Release will trigger. Let's get 2 Lord of Wind out of our deck, reveal them, and shuffle. Ancestral Empowerment also says draw a card. Great! Let's say we draw red Twin Twisters. Then let's play our last combo piece, Lord of Wind. Since Mugenshi Release was the last card played, we can pay X amount. If we do, we shuffle X target card named Surging Strike, Whelming Gustwave, and or Mugenshi Release from our graveyard into our deck. Then Lord of Wind gains +X attack power. Let's pay 4 by using the remaining resource and pitching the other Lord of Wind. Then let's say we had 3 Whelming Gustwaves of different pitch value and 1 Surging Strike in graveyard. We shuffle these in our deck. Since X is 4, Lord of Wind will come in for a total of 6 attack power. Our opponent did run out of cards to block, but before we let them take the damage, let's use our Tide Flipper's attack reaction to give Lord of Wind Go Again, since it has a base power of 2. Since Lord of Wind is the 3rd attack to hit in the same combat chain, Mask of Momentum will trigger, and we draw a card. Let's say this is a red back heel kick. Let's close the current combat chain and use our Blossom of Spring to gain a resource. With this resource, let's play our Twin Twisters. Since our opponent can no longer block, let's choose if this hits, our next attack gains +1 attack power, since the card we have in hand combos off Twin Twisters. Then lastly, let's play Backheel Kick. Since Twin Twisters was the last attack and it gained +1 from Twin Twisters, it gains an additional 1 for a total of 5 attack power. We finally end our turn with our opponent probably curled up in a corner. Yes, these type of combos can actually happen more often than you think. To conclude, ninjas are the most agile class in Flesh and Blood, shown by their unparalleled access to go-again attacks. Blow the enemy away with a tempest of attacks that stretch their defenses to a breaking point. This was Jackie for the Fab Workshop. See you next time, and thanks for watching.